Google's always tried to maintain an apolitical front, but a recent leak tells a very different story. And if true, it outlines Google's executives' pick for president in the 2016 presidential elections.
Most people here are pretty upset and pretty sad because of the election. I certainly find this election deeply offensive, and I know many of you do too.
This is none other than Sergey Brin, Google's co-founder, and if his assumption that every worker in the video was a Clinton voter was upsetting, it gets worse.
That was the first moment I really felt like we were going to lose, and it was really painful. It did feel like a ton of bricks dropped on my chest.
And that right there is the chief financial officer of Google's parent company, Alphabet, Ruth Porat, holding back tears at the thought of their election defeat. But whose defeat exactly? Last time I checked, Google wasn't a wing of the Democratic Party. Nevertheless, they seem to have a mutual understanding on why Trump won.
Xenophobia, hatred, and a desire for answers that may or may not be there.
Here we have Senior Vice President for Global Affairs, Kent Walker. Looks like despite Google's claim to objectivity, Walker's got some pretty partisan views on American politics. But Google maintains those are personal views, ones that don't affect their product.
Boredom led to the rise of fascism and also to the communist revolution. I think it's worth being very vigilant and thinking about all these issues. What can we do to lead to maybe a better quality of governance, decision-making, and so forth?
Solid explanation of ideologies that shaped the 21st century, Sergey. But fair enough. Google is looking for ways to make the world better. But that hasn't stopped the flow of accusations that their strategy is politically biased. Like that time Google removed a pro-life singer's music video on YouTube.
They said a baby's a big mistake. I had no choice. What was your name? What were you meant to be? Wish I could have known you.
And YouTube's moved to hit popular users before, conservative users especially.
While President Trump is draining the swamp, Diamond and Silk is going to be exposing the swamp. We're making a movie, y'all.
But there are some at Google who don't agree with the company's liberal leanings. James Damore, a conservative engineer, wrote a memo, just a memo, to highlight potential bias in Google's policy. And he was fired for it.
Google has several biases, and owner's discussion about these biases is being silenced by the dominant ideology. What follows is by no means the complete story, but it's a perspective that desperately needs to be told at Google.
Google has always claimed its hands were clean when it came to political bias. Hate speech or other inappropriate content, the company always claimed it had its reasons. But with insight into what the top brass at Google is apparently thinking, perhaps it's time for a better understanding of what bias really means. Donald Corder, RT.